Morning girls, how are you?
Hiya.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevan Wilson. We're back here at my gym, Peak Physique and Fitness in Hitchin, Hertfordshire. Today we're going to do an alternative leg workout. Now most people think that to have good legs, competition class legs, you need to squat and you need to deadlift. And that may be true to an extent, but today we're going to show you how you can actually have competition standard legs without doing either of those two exercises. To help me show you today, I'm joined by Ezzy and Helen. I'll let the girls introduce themselves to you right now.
Hiya, I'm Ezzy. I'm a PT and a class instructor here at PPF.
Hi, my name's Helen. I'm a fitness instructor and training to be a personal trainer. I also compete and I won UK DFBA British Champion Novice Ladies Fit Body last year.
Okay, so you know what I always say, when you come to the gym, you're coming on business. Ladies, you look far too glamorous to do any serious work, so please get off to the changing rooms now and go and get into character. We'll start off by doing something that's very important, which is warming up the legs, because this is an area of the body that's very susceptible to injury. So we'll start off by doing warm up and a stretch, and then we're going to start off by doing leg extensions in a certain way. In fact, all the exercise will be done using this method, whereby we're using a lot of negative reps and a lot of squeezing of the muscles. After we've done the leg extensions, we're then going to move on to leg press, which we've done in a different way to you've probably never done it before. We're going to be doing it with very light weights. We've been doing it with very full reps, and again, using negatives and working on the basis of keeping the muscles under tension for as long as we possibly can. When we've done the leg press, we're going to move on to hack squats, which is kind of leg press upside down. The same principles apply, and again, fantastic for bringing out the legs. After we've done that, we're going to move on to a recumbent leg press, which is basically, you'll have done it upside down, you'll have done it the right way up, and then you're going to do it horizontally. So it's going to just attack the quads from a different angle again, but working on the same principle of time under tension will absolutely destroy them. Then we're going to finish by going back to the leg extension by doing what we call diminishing pyramid sets, which will absolutely wipe out the legs and finish off the workout perfectly for you.
Well, I've always been very active, always gone to the gym, played sports and things. I was actually in an office job as well as modelling till last year, and it was only because people kept kind of asking me to help them out with their training that I did my qualifications last year to make sure that I could help people with some knowledge behind me. So I've been training people since last year, but I've been working out for a few years.
And how long have you been doing all this and stuff like that?
Been training properly since May last year. I've been a member of a gym probably for a couple of years now, but just did classes, never really lifted weights until last May.
Okay, now the most important thing really to start off with is that you do a proper warm-up when you do your leg workout. Without getting too technical, the knee joint is very big, one of the biggest joints in the body, and it's very complicated. And it's very important that you lubricate that. So by doing this first, just 5 minutes on a bike before you even start, that will get the blood pumping around your legs, and more importantly, it will get your body to release synovial fluid, which is like a lubricant, which will lubricate the knee joint and prevent the doing any damage. Okay, so if you can both just make sure you stretch your quads properly just by doing that, either balance or something. You find when you're doing this, if you look at the floor, you won't fall over. I don't know how that works, but try it and you'll see. So, having seen that we've done the warm-up on the bike to get the body to start secreting the synovial fluid, it's now important that we do a stretch of the quads. And this is just 2 minutes, just stretching them out, making sure that everything's nice and loose, and then we're going to get on with some proper work. And Helen, you did really well in your show last year, didn't you?
I did, yes. I got first place.
And this was the
UK DFBA.
That's the UK Drug-Free
Bodybuilding Association. Yeah.
And I've been to their shows and they're very well organised.
Brilliantly well organised. It was brilliant. It just went so smoothly. Everything went to plan. And obviously I came home with first place trophy, so yeah. And
it only went smooth and according to plan because you put in so much work beforehand.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it took a lot of hard work, dieting, training, sleepless nights, lots of tears, lots of tantrums. Yeah. But yeah, I got there and I did it, yeah. So yeah, it's well worth it.
Bring the weight up, squeeze at the top, and then come down slowly, 3, 4, 5 seconds down. Just come 3/4 of the way down, then bring it back up. By doing this, we're keeping the muscles constantly under tension. The key to doing this work is the constant tension on the muscle. We're not doing any kind of explosive work. We're going to do 10 reps that take maybe 5 or 6 seconds each rep, which means the muscle's under constant tension for a whole minute, and that's what we want. That's it, a couple more, just a couple more. Just bring them up, squeeze at the top, and then come back down slowly. Excellent work, excellent work. Hey, tell me about your normal leg training, what you would have been doing last year for that.
Last year for that, I was training legs once a week. I have 5 training days, 2 rest days. One of those days was obviously leg day. Unfortunately, 3 weeks out, I twisted my pelvis. I had to have a week in bed. But obviously afterwards, I had to take it quite easy with my leg workouts. Squatting was out of the question really, because it just felt too vulnerable.
Hold for a second and then come back down slowly. That's it. So 3/4 of the way down, then straight back up, squeeze, and then back down slowly again. We're going to try to get 10 reps like that. You notice the position that Ez is doing this with the hands, not on the handles, but actually behind her in the seat. This isolates the quads much more, puts all the energy through the front of the quads. And you notice the way that she's doing them is that she's bringing them up, squeezing at the top to just pump as much blood in the muscle as we can, and then take it down very, very slowly so that we get maximum effect from the negative part of the rep.
So obviously I've like really felt the difference putting my hands behind my back, because I didn't feel that there was so much tension going through my hands and my arms.
That's right. I mean, machines are designed, I think, more for stability and safety. And if you're holding the outside of the handle, you're holding your whole body in place. By putting your hands behind you on the seat like that, you're basically isolating the front part of the quads. Because by holding onto the back of the seat and pulling your bum right tight into the seat, all the energy is focused right through the front of the area that we're
I really felt it as well. I felt it a lot more than I would do holding onto the handle, so that was really good.
Excellent. Don't forget pulling on the seat. Pull your bum tight in onto the seat so all the weight's focusing through the front of your quads. Then bring up and squeeze it so that we're squeezing the VMO or the teardrop right around the knee. Big squeeze, nice and slowly back down. So that we're constantly under tension. That's why we're only coming 3/4 of the way down, so that the muscle's constantly under tension the whole of the time. You really feel this working, going through the area that we're trying to work?
Yeah, on the negative you could really feel it all the way through.
Yeah. Do you see the way that it works now with the time under tension, the fact that you're bringing it up, squeezing at the top, but then taking it down very slowly, is actually pumping the blood in and out of the muscle the whole of the time. So it's under tension for the whole of the workout, the whole of the set, which is probably 50, 60 seconds, yeah? Okay, let's go over here now. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is leg press, but not leg press like you usually do. You see most people on the leg press will bring it down 1/4 of the way, half the way, by putting far too much weight on there and not getting anything out of it. We're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to keep the weight light, but you're going to do it very, very deep. You're actually going to come down and touch the stops. We're going to use a negative rep, come down 3, 4, 5 seconds, all the way down, touch the base, and then kick it up as hard as you want, as quick as you want. But when you get to the top, we're not locking out. You're going to come 9/10 of the way up and then start the slow 3, 4, 5 seconds down again. That way, again, the muscle is constantly under tension and you're getting the full depth on it. So we're working on style and form and depth rather than lives in heavyweight. The whole set's going to take probably 50, 60, 70 seconds. By doing that, the muscle's going to get a complete workout for a long period of time, okay? Right, Helen, so your feet are in a good position, your toes slightly turned out, feet about shoulder width apart. So take the weight up now, please, up there, flick the handles out. Now grab hold of these and pull yourself in. Again, the thing of pulling your bum right to the bottom of the seat will focus the energy through your quads. So now come down slowly, all the way to the bottom, make sure you touch, and drive up 9/10 of the way, then slowly start coming back down again. That's really good. All the way down, touch, drive, good. Nice and slowly down. You can see how long each one of these reps is taking. They're taking 4, 5, 6, even 7 seconds each. If you multiply that by 10, it means the muscle's under tension for over a minute, which is again what we're trying to do. We're not trying to do these sets where people are explosive, we're just doing a few reps in a few seconds. We're working the muscles for a long period of time so that they absolutely get completely destroyed. Okay, Ez, in you go. That's it, not too high, just bring your feet down a little bit and just turn your toes a little bit. That's lovely. Okay, away we go. Hold on to the handles in here, pull yourself right in on it, that's it, and drive up, good. Slowly down, bring it all the way to the floor, touch, and drive. Good work, good work. You have to remember that feet position on this exercise is very, very important. Basically, the higher your feet are up the plate, the more it's going to hit more on your hamstrings and your glutes. The lower you can get your feet, the more it's going to hit your quads. So you have to find a happy medium. You want to try to exercise the whole of the legs, but the primary area that we're working is the quads.
So obviously, if you want to target your glutes and your hamstrings and you put your feet up high, you can still use the same technique and it's still going to have just as much.
Absolutely, exactly the same technique. By putting your feet up high, you can do that. In fact, we sometimes use this machine and specifically set where we've got this handle at the top here. You can put your feet as high as you want and you hook your feet under there, and that will stop your feet slipping off the plate. The higher your feet are up on the plate, the more it will hit your hamstrings and your glutes. Okay. The idea of doing it the way that we're doing here is it hits the sweep, but it also brings in the hip flexors, which is very, very important. If you're going to compete, if you're going to be on stage, you've got to remember your legs start where the bottom of your trunks stops. So your hip flexors are literally muscles that run from your hip bones all the way down your legs. If you do these properly like this, it will pop the hip flexors out and your legs will look amazing. The tips I would give you on this are, make sure that you're pulled tight in onto the seat, pulling on the handles, make sure you're pulled right in. Never lock out, keep the muscles constantly under tension, just 9/10 of the way up, and let them down nice and slowly as well. Okay everyone, that's the end of part 1. Please come back for part 2, it's going to be even tougher.